Okay, you guys, so it is Tuesday, August 18th, 2020. Another article from Science Alert. This article is titled, "Every single seafood sample tested in this microplastic study was polluted." This is in the human sections of ScienceAlert.com, written by Carly Casella, published on August 19th, 2020, just a couple of days ago. Alright, so let's start. Now, let me explain to you why I chose this article. Because, let me tell you guys, maybe a month or two ago, it was a little while back, I had picked up some salmon from the store because I like salmon and red snapper. I picked up some salmon from the store and I brought it home. I cooked it. I like overcooked salmon. You know, I like it to be like almost dry, right? So I cooked it and I ate just a little bit of it and I felt sick right away. And I was like, I know I didn't undercook the salmon because, you know, a lot of times salmon is undercooked, so it'll have that soft, flaky texture, and it's usually good. But I didn't undercook. I overcooked this and I instantly got sick, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here. So I wanted to read this article. Maybe it'll give me, some insight as to what was going on. So let's go ahead and start. Plastics were not made for human consumption. I know, right? And yet consume them we must. Tiny remnants of these synthetic polymers have now leached into our air, food, and water, and avoiding them has turned into an almost impossible battle. I was just thinking about this the other day. Where I live, they have a lot of glass bottles. I was thinking about starting to order more glass bottles. A study of 5 popular seafoods bought from a market in Australia reveals just how ubiquitous these micropollutants have become. After buying 5 wild blue crabs, 10 farmed tiger prawns, 10 wild squid, 10 farmed oysters, and 10 wild sardines, what are they having a party? Researchers found traces of plastic in every single sample. Wow. Considering an average serving, a seafood eater could be exposed to approximately 0.7 milligrams of plastic when ingesting an average serving of oysters or squid, and up to 30 milligrams of plastic when eating sardines, respectively. 30 milligrams of plastic that you're eating? Wow. Respectively, explains Francisca Ribeiro, who studies dietary exposure to plastics at the University of Queensland, Australia. For comparison, 30 milligrams is the average weight of a grain of rice. Okay. So you're basically eating a grain of rice worth of plastic. Wow. When you eat sardines, or so they say. We still don't know what, if anything, this is doing to our bodies, but there's reason to find out. The ocean is the ultimate sink for plastics in the world, and understanding the extent the marine food web is contaminated with these pollutants is part of the challenge. After ingesting plastics of our own making, many marine species have been found struggling with physical damage and oxidative stress. Some have even died, like the beached whales we found stuffed with garbage. Wow. The risks for land mammals are not known, and while we're probably not swallowing nearly as much plastic as these whales, what? We need to know how much we actually are consuming to know if we're in danger. Our findings show that the amount of plastics present varies greatly among species and differs between individuals of the same species, said Ribeiro. Using a novel mass spectrometry technique that simultaneously scans for 5 different kinds of popular plastic, researchers found samples of squid from the Australian market contained the fewest traces, while sardines held the most. Polyethylene, which is a plastic used in films and laminates, was found in the highest concentration, whereas polyvinyl chloride, aka PVC, was the most ubiquitous, found in every single sample. What is PVC doing in that? Wow. This isn't out of line with what other recent studies have discovered. While it's not just seafood that contains microplastics, Sugars, salts, alcohol, and water contain them too. So they're basically saying that everything that you're ingesting contains microplastics. So if you're getting a grain's worth of microplastic with the sardine, it's like you're getting multiple grains. So at what point are you getting like a bowl of rice at the end of every month? Like what? Wow. Unbelievable. Okay. In places where seafood is consumed heavily, studies suggest some people swallow at least 11,000 microplastic particles a year. The trouble is, so many of these studies employ different methodologies and report results in different ways. Plus, many don't identify individual types of plastic and rely on visual observations alone. Having a universal way to carefully test tissue samples for various kinds of plastics will allow scientists to compare results from around the world far more easily. This new technique looks like a promising avenue, allowing scientists to hone in on even tinier amounts of plastic with greater accuracy than before. We do not fully understand the risks to human health of ingesting plastic, says marine scientist Tamara Galloway from the University of Exeter. But this new method will make it easier for us to find out. Sorry, it's a plane flying overhead. I'm going to just let it ease on by. All right. But this new method will make it easier for us to find out. If only it was harder to find seafood to test it on. Well, sounds like it's pretty easy. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I think it's going to start to rain here. So, I was a little bit shocked by this. I'm definitely feeling some type of way. You know, I think we all know that we're consuming plastic. And let's be real. But the other day, I've been buying water and I've been really wanting to get like some type of glass container for it, because I noticed when I get plastic water jugs, if I leave them, if I don't drink that water right then or at that time, if I leave them somewhere and they're in the sun, like they're by the window or something like that, and I got a lot of windows in my place, if they're by the window or something like that for a few days, when I come back, there's a plastic taste in the water. I've noticed that. And a certain water I don't even drink anymore. It's like it's going to waste. So I'm really considering getting like a large glass container to keep water in when I buy it. Maybe one of those 5-gallon things, glass things, you know, where I can like, I don't know. I gotta come up with something. But yeah, I've definitely tasted plastic and water and other things. And like everything you get is in plastic, except the stuff, even the stuff that's in cardboard boxes is wrapped in plastic, you know. It's like, why is so much plastic always used? But anyway, if you guys have any questions or comments, I want to hear what you have to say about this as well. Go ahead and post them below and I'll get back to you.